Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time that we move ahead because our third mentor and speaker is present with us right now. So, without any further ado, I would very shortly get to our third mentor and speaker, who is Dr. Nayan Prakash Gandhi. Dr. Nayan Prakash has been with us before as well, and we are equally honored to have him with us today. Dr. Nayan Prakash, a little bit I would say about he has worked with the state. He has worked as a state advisor with the RDT government of Rajasthan. He is by that I mean the ex-state advisor he has been. Now he is a UN SDG global practitioner, which is for sustainable development goals, and also he is a youth activist. He is a content media writer. He is a columnist and academic researcher at Kota, Rajasthan. Today, delivering the topic of barriers to aspiring entrepreneurs and success stories with us. We welcome our third mentor and speaker, Dr. Nayan Prakash. So please start your session as we await.
So at first, I would like to give a special thanks to Yuva IncubatED whole team that who have been organized in very shortest time on this International Entrepreneur Day 2021 that we are going to celebrate with sharing experiences and towards empowering the youth of across the globe who have been connected with this global community under Yuva IncubatED. So it's great honor for me that today that we are going to discuss about very crucial topic in this crucial time. We can understand that we all are facing this still COVID, and definitely it's very slow down currently. But now it's time to explore the opportunities into entrepreneurship. And as we know that in today's world, each one of us dreams of being an entrepreneur. Definitely, every individual think that they should be on their something, but starting up something that we are passionate about something. It's all about making a difference in the world of business and solving the plans area of the target audience through our offering of product and services. And definitely entrepreneurship requires a through thought process, radical thinking, market know-how, and a strategic plan that is clear and crisp. And it also, the vision and mission need to be divided as per the short-term and long-term goals and objectives. So, my dear friend, this is not an easy task that to be a successful in entrepreneurship, and definitely it is need of the hour to discuss about that barriers come into for entrepreneurship. If we discuss about barriers to aspiring entrepreneurship and success stories, then definitely we should know that what are the barriers that many problems come into in this field, because we all already know about basics fundamentals of entrepreneurship and whatever pros cons everything, but there are few 12 barriers to entrepreneurship that I would like to explore here. One of these major that fundamental is to start any business that we can see that is required finance. So definitely we all are bustling with ideas that are unique and can make for an amazing business startup. But no matter how good your idea is, you will always need stable finance to maintain whole working cycle of your business during your startup. So definitely finance is major barriers to aspiring entrepreneurs. But on the view of that current government of India, if we look at see their action plan for youth startups, that they are motivating for good plans, easily finance are available under various schemes of entrepreneurship and startup development. So I will not go more in detail about government of India that plan that we can see by others speaker. Second, barriers that fear of not to be a success. Definitely, every entrepreneur have this very much fear that we all go through the fear of failure. And if the fear is associated with the risk and stacks taken in the stream of business and entrepreneurship, the level of fear element. And definitely it just uh, create the stress within entrepreneurship, whatever business particular individual start. Third one, barriers, if we look at C, that is no strategic plan in place. Definitely, most of the entrepreneurs, they don't have a strategic plan in their journey. Lack of proper planning and strategy in place is one of the most common barriers of into entrepreneurship. Many of us think to build a business out of a hobby without knowing their pros and cons, their interests, their technical difficulties, so many sort of long-term and short-term vision and plan in our mind. Running a fully fledged business or being an entrepreneur requires a huge amount of skill set, passion for excelling, strategic vision, the mission to accomplishing the goals, market research, and a lot more. So, right from the target market, finance, sales, human resources to a proper strategic plan is required definitely to build a successful business or a brand in the market and that competitive. So, next, fourth, barriers to aspiring entrepreneurs, that is human resources issue. Although we can see that India is the number one youth populous country in the world. So definitely we don't have a lack of human resources, but in some industry segment, definitely they don't have that quality manpower into their expertise that they have required. Maybe because technologies are changing, and definitely on the base of that startup, definitely they are having this challenges that they are not having that quality manpower. Entrepreneurs cannot handle and run a business alone by themselves, and definitely they require the support of human resources to curb a niche in the market. Employees with the required knowledge, expertise, and experiences are needed for the efficiency of the business processes and high level of productivity. So definitely, if we look at C, that this human resources manpower is very crucial. That is the very important barriers to aspiring entrepreneurs in various business segments. Before starting, they definitely think about this, that particular manpower is available or not in that particular geographical area, maybe in that particular place, maybe in that particular field of technology. So this is the very important and difficult to manage human resources, as each of us work with a different mindset and perspective. Hence, human resources and employees can be as one of the barriers of to entrepreneurship. Fifth one, if we look at C, that stringent rules and regulation of the market. Definitely, there are so many business segments where still rules and policies are going need to be changed by government system, and it is not very easy and for entrepreneurs to enter the new market, as there are quite many rules and regulation imposed by the government authorities. Various states have different policies in different segment of businesses, right? So this is also maybe one of the barriers in some business segment in a startup and entrepreneurship. Sixth one, fewer opportunity. Even though there is a lot of talent pool in the market with the aspiring entrepreneurs buzzing with the ideas, but the opportunities presented to them are quite less and fewer. Reasons such as nepotism and corruption act as the barriers to entrepreneurship with not many vital and lucrative opportunities. So definitely we can see that fewer opportunity in that particular segment, and definitely it is also barrier for entrepreneurship. Lack of capacities. Definitely every individual have different capacity, and so many have that lack of confidence even if there are opportunity presented to the aspiring entrepreneurs. There is a lack of capacity in some of them to embrace the opportunity with open arms. The reason can vary from lack of knowledge, maybe lack of education, maybe lack of willingness, maybe lack of strategic knowledge, maybe lack of cultural hindrances, among others. But the factor of motivation and zeal get missing. Definitely, this is the main important work that today we are going to focus to discussing about these all barriers to aspiring entrepreneurs, so that they can be motivated, they can be inspired, and definitely they can create zeal within themselves. So this is the work that is going on by Yuva IncubatED, that is to factor of motivation and zeals they are going to boost and fostering towards entrepreneurship development on this international entrepreneurship day. So to start a new business, if you look at see that venture and this, all the risk and market related issues, it requires a lot of hard work, passion, and high capacity to handle all of it. So definitely lack of capacity is also a major issue and barriers to aspiring entrepreneurship. Then add less market experience. Market experiences also on the ground level. Current youth are not having. Before going into entrepreneurship, they think they don't have ground level marketing experience. And definitely this is the
Apologies for interruption, sir. I
yeah.
believe your PPT is actually stuck on the first one, the first page. It's not moving unless you have
Yeah.
purposely
It
done.
is only slide. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Expert always mention that one should never rush in setting up a business. It is quite necessary to gain a relative amount of work experience by working in the industry domain or sector of choice, and as per the education level. It also helps to sharpen their required expertise and find the ground in the career graph. So once the person is ready to take risk and have a relative amount of market exposure, he is ready to take the entrepreneur stage. So definitely, uh, if we look at see that lack of marketing expertise is also major barriers. Now, next, lack of risk taking capacity. It is always said that entrepreneurs never sail in safe water. and are never confined to their comfort zone. Lack of risk taking capacity is the psychological mindset. As present youth, they are not ready to take risk. Who are ready to take risk, maybe they are having lack of knowledge. Again, this barriers come into force and they again stop to go into entrepreneurship. So this is also a very much important barriers, that lack of risk taking capacity, and definitely that particular mindset and perspective towards the business and act as one of the major barriers to entrepreneurship, and that should be changed. The budding entrepreneurs has to have a structured and organized approach towards the various businesses element, and should risk other rather than averting them. So definitely it is very important that to consider and to focus first off on these barriers and remove this if we want should go into that entrepreneurship. Last one, that is corrupt business situation. At various situation in various business segment, there still, as we can see that as I mentioned earlier, that if the business situation and the environment are not very supportive and corrupt for the young and aspiring entrepreneurs, it acts as one of the top barriers to entrepreneurship. Bribing, rampant corruption, unfriendly ties of government with other nations, inconsistent law, stringent compliances, and enforcing regulation that are unhealthy and negative in their approaches, which hamper the growth of businesses in the country. And definitely it is also one of the barriers. But currently that our present government of India that remove all these complexities and going to try very much flexible into this. Our government of Rajasthan is also uh, given flexibility to starting beginner of that entrepreneur startup. So now scenario is going to be changed. So definitely we cannot say that in every state or every country, because this is the international uh, world entrepreneurs there, that various countries, developing countries, participants are here. So definitely in various countries are this this type of barriers can be. So we have to look at it. So but in India, we are currently on the higher stage of the developing economy, that because India's situation is very excellent. If we look at the current situation, then it is very excellent. And if I talk about one example that as a success story, because I have to also go into few success story during my PPT. So if I talk about that culture of startup in India, that people are choosing entrepreneurship over, we can see much more entrepreneurship is going to be adopted by most of Indians, and everyone succeed as an entrepreneur. It is, and a survey revealed that approximately 11% of the Indians are engaged in early stage entrepreneur activities, and only 5% of these early stage entrepreneurs actually went on to establish their startup. But keeping these statistics aside, some Indian startups have gone on to dominate their target segment. This is, if we look at, see that some of the most successful entrepreneurs from India whose venture have revolutionized the daily life of their that those millions, if not billions across the globe, The path to name and fame was not easy for them. It involved several trials and tribulations and many sacrifices. So here is a few uh, description of some successful entrepreneurs in India bearing the big names such as Mukesh Ambani, Ratan Tata, and like various persons. We can see top entrepreneurs of young India as a successful Indian entrepreneur. We can see first Ritesh Agrawal ji, founder of Oyo Rooms. We can see that. Shraddha Sharma, founder of Your Story. That is very young startup. Bhavish Agrawal, founder of Ola Caps. That we can learn so much things from this startup. Vijay Shekhar Sharma, founder of Paytm. Definitely, I think every third person is using Paytm in India, and definitely this ratio is going to be increased. So we can see what is the great success that Paytm had received in early edge of their startup. We can see fifth number of this startup, Dipender Goyal and Pankaj Chadda, founder of Zomato. And we can see now nobody here maybe that who have not ordered anything from Zomato. In India itself, it is very much popular startup. Sixth one, we can see this is the most popular in the young startup, Kunal Shah, founder of Creed. In seven, if we look at C, we can see that is much more popular, Benny Bansal and Sachin Bansal, founder of Flipkart. Next, at number, Deep Kalra, founder of Make My Trip. Definitely, every startup that is designed on that particular problem and very small problem, that is particular individual, that entrepreneur has worked upon that problem, and automatically they get solution, and that solutions are growing based on their startup, and definitely that is the increased customer base. So I would like to advise to every aspiring entrepreneurs from this platform that they should think about something, what problems is going on in their surrounding areas, in that particular segment where they would like to start their entrepreneurship, any business, any enterprise. Definitely they should think about what USP they can provide during their entrepreneurship. Ninth number, I would like to tell everyone that is Baiju Ravindran, founder of Baiju. So that is very much popular startup currently, that in the COVID pandemic, Baiju achieved very immense growth during even COVID pandemic, and still it is on higher growth. So last one, that is 10th number of startup, that is founder of Big Basket, Hari Manani. So we can see these 10 startups are very much popular, and definitely one startup that is very much famous among all of us. I would like to brief about that startup as a success story, so some present youth can understand that how they have started their journey. And so I would like to some brief about Bhavish Agrawal, that is founder of Ola. He was an IIT Bombay alumnus and co-founded the most popular cab aggregator in India, Ola Cabs, that we all know. First off, he has started this with his friend, Mr. Ankit Bhati. Then he the recipient of Billion Award in 2013. Best Startup of the Year by IML and was listed in Forbes 30 under 30 list. Bhavish revolutionized the idea of cab hailing in India by making use of smartphone. And Ola cabs was different from other cab services at that time in the sense that it leveraged smartphone and GPS technology. Thus, it becomes easy for people to book cabs from anywhere at any time. Bhavish Agrawal left a well-paying job at Microsoft to work on Ola cabs. No one supported his idea, but it was his strong will, determination, dedication, and eagerness to do something with taking a risk. So we can learn by which barriers to aspiring entrepreneurs that they have, that Mr. Bhavesh faced all this and taken all these barriers as opportunity. And with his determined and dedicated attitude and eagerness to learn something by taking risks in life that led him to the pinnacle of success. And now Bhavish Agrawal is counted amongst the most successful Indian entrepreneurs. So by the success stories, I would like to urge to every individual, young management or technical aspirant who, who are listening me here, or any professional aspirant who have been working in different segment in private organization. I would like to appeal to every individual that they should do something. Maybe in their family, they can plan out that particular what problem is going on in society. They can empower to their any family member to go into the entrepreneurship. Maybe in small, but as you will go into this entrepreneurship, definitely it will increase the economy of our country, and definitely it will be a very helpful to increase the employment, and it can increase the wealth within themselves, and definitely they can get what they want, because without money there is no honey. So this is the take of India Infoline. That is also great startup, but it was already, it is not in as a young startup, so that's why I'll not tell you about that. But India Infoline is also, it's a very great, founded by that I am alumnus. So we can see in the short. I would like to tell everyone that kindly please learn something from your barriers, whatever come into force, and take it as an opportunity. One more success story I would like to give here in a short to everyone, that coaching empire in Kota, Rajasthan, that is now global makeover. My dear friend, I'm talking about Allen Group of institution. Now Allen Career Coaching, it's famous, and we can see that in various countries it is going to be spread. We can see that is founded by Honorable Shri Rajesh Maheshwari, and all Maheshwari brothers have nurtured this empire, and now it is empire of, we can see, 1,600 crore. Nobody can think about that when on initial stage, that because as a co-founder of this Allen institution, if we talk about Govind Maheshwari, vividly remembers that fateful night in 2008 at around 12:30 am. The medical teaching faculty at Allen Career Institute, comprising 6 members, resigned and mass and inform the four Maheshwari brothers. The incident comes into the force. The first case of Alan's teacher being poached by a rival institute had the potential to hurt the coaching institute, which was started in 1988 by the eldest brother, Mr. Rajesh Maheshwari, with 8 students. Now we can see, my dear friend, that it was started in 1988 with 8 students. Now we can see that lakhs of students have completed their dream and they are working in their different good sector. Maybe they not become doctor or engineer, but still that is the slogan of sanskar se safalta tak. So definitely that organization Allen as a career institute, they have provided Indian tradition blends to every individual who are admitted in their coaching institution. They are not selling education. They were creating the students for our coming young India. So definitely, if we provide something different USP compared to other coaching, other competing industry, then definitely our industry will grow. We can learn from this Allen group. So the incident that if we talk about today's growth of Allen, that Allen institution reach on that pinnacle success, and now the whole brother that Mr. Rajesh Maheshwari, Honorable Govt Maheshwari sir, Brajesh Maheshwari sir, and Naveen Maheshwari sir, they all are unite and they have shown their leadership and they have listed currently now in Forbes list. So we can see that what tremendous success they have achieved in longest time of continuity with truly stability of that quality maintain of that students that they have providing services. They have never seen to others. They have looked at it themselves and they have improvising their services day by day. And now today, Allen is only the brand in India who have been in the every third person mind, that every individual in third, every third family, if we talk about in, then someone will told always that my daughter, my son was always that taught at Allen, and they have maybe not become an engineer or doctor. They have become a civil servant. They have become entrepreneur. They have become good teacher or something, but they have become something. So this is the USP of that institution, that after completion of their studies from that institution, students groom with quality. So we can see that when we take every barrier to as an opportunity, that every entrepreneur can get success and featured as a success story. So now I would like to finish my PPT, and if any questions, then we can continue. Thank you so much.
So, yes, sir. So, Dr. Nayan Prakash Gandhi, our third mentor and speaker, thank you so much for delivering such an amazing session today, for so many beautiful and interesting stories. We're wondering whether anybody has any questions. So you guys are free. Our mentor is taking the questions right now. Just post your questions in the chat box or raise your hand and we will unmute you.
Ma'am, I hope I have finished on time. 25 minutes.
Definitely, sir. Very punctual you are. So we are, as we can see, there are no questions, I guess, sir. Okay. So we want to thank you once again for being with us today, for, getting this much of time out of your very your curriculum. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.